Am I right?
Oh, there it is. We are on time. This is the Twisted Cupid podcast. Yes. Yes, you heard the man. This is the Twisted Cupid podcast. We are taking ridiculous dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit and from you guys right there in the chat. If you're listening on an audio-only platform, we still love you, but we would love you even more if you like and subscribed on YouTube. And then give us your comments, give us your questions. We'll read them right here on the show. With me back in the co-host chair after a long hiatus, the one, the only Suzanne Leah Shepherd.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hi. Well, I would like to call it a sabbatical, like a college professor.
It's like a vacation for fancy folk.
I needed to take some time off to learn more about the art, to study more, and then to, so yeah, I wouldn't call it a break. I would say a sabbatical.
Yes, she was on a sabbatical.
Which further improves my ability to podcast.
It did, and you know what? You will notice we started on time, so that sabbatical works.
Yeah.
They got us on time.
Not to say that girl got results, but hello.
Before right now, I thought sabbatical was just an obscure Jewish holiday. But now it's something we needed.
It's akin to college professors taking a sabbatical to further their education in the subject that they are so ingrained.
And now you have come back to the podcast. You are a podcastiologist, and it is a better podcast for it. We're happy to have you back.
Yeah, but what is even better are our two guests for the episode.
Yes, we have two awesome returning guests, man. Two hilarious stand-up comics. First up, he is hilarious. We got him back on the show. The one, the only Colin DiGarbo. Thank you for being
back. What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're doing great, man. Thank you for being here. Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, I'm at DiGarbo on Twitter and Colin.DiGarbo on Instagram. It's like spelled D-I-Garbo.
There you go. Look him up. Find him.
Yes.
Follow him. Blow him if you've got the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
that's right.
Solid rule of threes.
If you both,
I like to put the best last.
If you both consent,
they teach you that.
This is not. This is not an
DiGarbo, detective inspector.
Honestly, who's coming from
DiGarbo? Yeah. Did you Garbo? New
did
podcast
you Garbo
idea.
it?
That's right.
Did you gargle afterwards?
That's right. And you do have to consent. He doesn't accept head from women you got tied up in the trunk. All right. He's not an animal.
No.
Colin
he's got morals.
is very emotionally mature and sensitive.
That's right.
I'm keeping
all
that
genders.
video right on.
That's right.
Super mature. Not a piece of shit. Not a scumbag. Definitely not. That's definitely not going to come out in the preceding podcast. No.
That's right. And speaking of guys who are mature and not murderers and not all that other stuff, and a hilarious stand-up comic, he is the one, the only Dan Frank.
Thank you. I told him to say all of those things. Thank you so
it's in
much.
the intro that I read right
not
here.
Not a murderer.
That's right.
Yeah, in
He's
case
got
my
nothing
job sees this.
Yes.
At some point.
Those hitchhikers were a coincidence, I say.
Yeah.
And nothing more.
Yeah, just they were there. And I was there, so thank you. My Instagram's not Anne Frank with 2 Ks. Not 3 because that would be weird. And I can't do 1 because this girl took it.
What?
Yeah, this young girl somewhere. So we hate her. We
Dude.
hate her, right?
She probably didn't even take it. I'll bet her parents took it before she was like.
Yeah, they bought it for her.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had to fight for my 2 Ks.
Whoever she is.
You had to fight for your right to Instagram.
That's about me.
Yeah.
Oh, she better hope you don't find her. Otherwise, she might end up like a couple of hitchikers who had nothing to do with it.
I'm not a murderer. I am not a murderer, everyone.
That's
I'm just a commentator on dating.
That's really nice. I find it very comforting when I'm listening to a podcast, knowing that a person that I'll never encounter in person is not a murderer.
That's one less murderer in the world.
That's right.
You just go around thinking everyone's a murderer in New York City.
I was obviously saying this in jest, but now that you say this, because normally when I listen to podcasts, I'm walking or running or doing something outside where someone could easily attack me. So knowing that whoever is speaking to my ears at the time, it's almost like, so let's say that I was going for a walk and I heard Dan Frank is not a murderer, and then you came up and tried to murder me, I'd be like, hey, you promised you weren't a murderer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then that would be like the best way to die.
It would be
You-
okay.
Honest me.
You said you weren't a
Yeah.
murderer.
Ah, what can I say?
Hey, get
Murderer,
a
and
murderer.
worse than a murderer, I'm a liar.
I take all safety and medical advice from podcasts, and this one lied to me. God damn it! Yeah, no, I can normally separate the art and the artist, except for with murders. I think Gacy's paintings were shit.
Yeah,
That's right.
Agreed.
I'll say it. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to say it.
I mean, I'll listen to an R. Kelly song every once in a while.
You're
but
right.
I'm not gonna.
I mean, they lived. You know what I mean? Like, it's-
All
If I'm
right,
being
let's-
honest, Jake, I don't think you've ever been afraid to say anything you've ever said.
No.
No, it's true. I regret it later. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
of
'Cause
course.
you know what I mean? But to be fair, I haven't remembered half of the bad stuff, so there's always that.
There you
You
go.
block.
Yeah, yeah. It's I block, Trulies and vodka blocks. You know,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of blocking going on.
A lot of blocking. Yeah. Speaking of
shout out to the people in the chat though, man.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
shout out to producer
Hi,
Amy is in the
everyone.
chat. Fellow co-hosts.
Love
We're like a
her.
triumvirate now.
Is
This
Shannon in
podcast,
there?
you know. We got no Shannon yet. We got Matt on YouTube. What's going on, Matt? We got Joel on YouTube. How's it going?
Hi, Joel.
Oh, Joel on YouTube says, Jake, who is better, Sabbatical or Metallica? It does sound like a hair metal band.
He's
too.
going to grab a hammer.
Yeah. It's
Who, me?
sometimes Matt calls what happens on the podcast
Yeah.
like Babe Ruth calling a shot. You know, if he did
That's
predict
cool.
a podcast murder, he really would. He should be doing parlays this weekend.
Yeah.
On DraftKings, I think.
But yeah, so I think so we have a theme for this week. It's should I or did I?
There we go.
And I think we should just crack on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do
We'll
it.
dissect
Let's
it.
take our first question on the Love Gurus podcast. Or on the Twisted Cupid podcast. Sorry, I just dead named the podcast.
dead name.
Dead name. That's our
Cancel
dead name.
I'm canceling myself. I just dead
At least you
named my own
turned yourself
podcast.
in,
That's right.
and you're mournful about it. You're
Oh man,
regretful.
I felt like Caitlyn Jenner
You're so
screaming
contrite.
Bruce in the mirror just now. It was, I broke myself inside.
For those of you who miss Bruce, you're welcome.
All right. Anyway, let's take our first question on Twisted Cupid Podcast. If you guys have any questions to write in, write them to twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, write them to us live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give them to us right in the chat. Let's take our first one, though, from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
First question: should I sign the mortgage? I'm 25 and my
Yes.
boyfriend is 26. Been dating for almost 4 years and living together for almost 2. His family, mom, dad, and sister, suffered a house fire in January, and they stayed with us in our one-bedroom apartment for a couple of weeks until their insurance got them a hotel. Now they're in now that they're in a hotel, but they did stay with us and their 9 cats for almost 2 weeks. They paid for the food and the litter, but obviously I got the cats a few toys. This
Oh, there you
past
go.
Sunday, they went to see a realtor to talk about buying a house. Where they lived was a place that they rented for a decade, and the landlord was pissed about the fire, so they didn't want to go back, even though the house is fixed. My boyfriend was supposed to be the one to sign the loan, but because his parents aren't citizens, they would have had to pay out the ass for a down payment. But since he's the one with the social security number, he would have to be the one to sign the mortgage. The problem is that he doesn't make enough on his own. However, if we did it together, we would have enough to sign for the loan. So I would have to sign on with his family. And the good news is that if they then bought a house, we'd have more space. We could live in the house with his family. We would then be able to save for money for our own house. And it would be something. The problem is it's obviously a 30-year mortgage. I
So
called my
much
mom.
real estate going on right now. It's making my head spin as a broke
Yeah.
person.
As
I'm
a
just
renter,
feeling envy, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's giving me hives.
I spent $27 on scratch tickets yesterday and have $0 in stocks. This makes me feel poor.
He's waiting for his mortgage debut.
I bought an NFT of a cryptocurrency. It
There's
was
just a
crazy.
scratch ticket for a mortgage. One of these days I'm gonna hit, baby. Shaped like a
You
house.
win a mortgage.
Look at this.
You get to pay money all the time. There's no house. It's just the mortgage.
That would be a big American thing. So that was basically 2008.
The jack payment is a down payment. The jackpot is a down payment on a 2-bedroom apartment in
That
Queens.
was all those CDOs. It was like, congratulations, more debt. And
It's 1/10 of a condo.
4 zeros in your debt means you're winning.
You're also building credit this whole time.
My problem is that if I feel like if I don't decide to go in on the loan, that his parents will then go against me and my boyfriend will go against me, but also that I will alienate them and make it seem as though they made a bad decision by asking me to take on the loan. I feel like it's a lose-lose situation no matter what I do because it's such a big responsibility. How do I handle? So it's so let me just summarize. So this woman's dating a guy. They've been together for 4 years, living together for 2. His family, their house mysteriously burns down. They can't go back to the house because the landlord's pissed, which kind of makes it seem like it was the family's fault that the house.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. I think she's an accomplice and has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
She's like a
Also-
getaway driver that just thinks they were depositing a check in the bank. The
It was
whole
her
time.
little bath candle that
Yeah.
fell.
She's
and-
she's also very clear of the fact they have 9 cats. Now, I don't.
Oh, the
again,
cat started the fire.
It
Yeah.
sort of seems like the cats are a thing in this. Anyway, but so now the family is like, okay, we want to buy a house. They went and spoke to a realtor, but again, they would have to have a huge down payment because of their citizenship status. So the boyfriend could do it, but he couldn't do it on his own because of his income. So if she signs on, then they can sign on for a mortgage to buy the family a house that they could then live in. And then with the idea in the future, they then buy a house for themselves.
Dude, I'm going to call it right now. She's going to sign on to this, and there's going to be another mysterious electrical fire caused by one of the 9 cats that's not there anymore and a curler. And it's weird that it happened twice in a row, but now their name's on half of the insurance money. It was only renter's insurance last time. They're moving on up, They're graduating.
When I used to teach, I had a student whose parents we think did this actually, like burned down their restaurant for
You're
insurance money.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah,
That
and
was
then because less than a year later, they had a new, better restaurant in a better neighborhood.
Was it better
That
food?
rocks.
Yeah, way better.
Okay.
They got a new chef. She got a new husband.
What's
She
the
burned-
What's the downside?
It's in the apartment.
This
It's in the
sounds
restaurant.
like a Mary Poppins
Yeah.
song.
The
When
only-
your restaurant's when your restaurant's a shit, you burn that shit to the ground. You
Turn
burn
it
that shit
into a
to
pit.
the ground.
Yes.
Shit to the ground.
Don't worry, you'll get a better restaurant tomorrow. Only real victims are the insurance companies.
Burn it
They
down.
deserve to pay.
Yeah.
They deserve to pay.
Dick Van Dyke would sign off on that.
Yeah, he would sign this mortgage because he's a bazillionaire
Dude,
too.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's better
I
than a victimless crime. The only victims are the insurance companies, and they deserve to pay no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
So I am pro. Whatever kind of lightning this is that doesn't sound racist. Let me just say that's I am pro whatever that is.
They never said what ethnicity
Yes.
they were. They could be white non-citizens. You
That's
don't know.
right. It was a French restaurant. I'm
Yeah.
pro French
White
lightning.
non-citizen lightning.
So
That's right.
yeah.
They had white
Once-
lightning in a bottle, I'll tell you.
Once you have to put too many hyphens in the joke, it's just not as tight and punchy anymore. White lightning.
Well, the joke is how long it is.
We put
Ever heard of a shaggy dog, Jake?
we even burn it down with moonshine just to be funny.
That's very white. That is very white.
And
Moonshine is incredibly white.
It's
Yeah.
white lightning. That's what they call white lightning. Moonshine.
Okay, so
I should know that. As a heavy
I am going to give a spoiler alert. There was an update on this Reddit question, and everyone on Reddit was like, "Do not sign the loan." I think that's myopic at best, and here's
Yeah.
why. is because if she's going to sign a loan, so essentially, so she and her boyfriend sign a loan for this mortgage payment, right? Like, they are responsible for the mortgage payment, but then it's like this handshake agreement that the family is then going to give them money for said mortgage. Right. Well, then you just have your own side agreement that you're making interest off of this mortgage. So let's say the mortgage is $1,500.
Right.
The family has to pay you $1,625 or whatever. You're making.
If she spins this right, she can be a low key landlord.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the move.
And then she's gonna profit.
Yeah.
Off this.
So I mean, there's obviously the legal hurdle that they're not citizens. Whatever. Maybe this.
Who cares about that?
Then maybe this wouldn't hold up in a court of law.
That's not the only law that's being broken within this circle. There's a lot of shit she left out.
But so it's just laws
being broken.
So again, it's just don't sign it because I guess, if you're concerned about, tit for tat. But if you're really thinking about it from a financial standpoint, definitely sign the mortgage. However, again, have a side agreement with the family that, again, if the mortgage is $1,500 a month, you get $1,625 from the family, and that's the cost of burning your house down. Sus.
Yep.
Sus.
There you go.
There
you go. Yeah, definitely.
That's an accomplice fee.
Fund your own little safety net and flame retardant.
Because then also they're living in the apartment themselves also.
Yeah.
So
you definitely got to be looking for yourself. I think a good go bag with a little bit of food and money in it, if you're going to be living with this family, is a good thing.
You're gonna, bit of spending cash.
Yeah, some fake IDs, move to Florida, Alaska, one of those shady kind of places.
Is anybody else getting a very strong she doesn't love this guy energy? They're already not married.
No, I think
she's fallen out of love slowly.
I disagree. I think that even the fact that she's even considering it means that she's in it for the long haul.
I think
so
too.
If you were in a, again, just to reiterate, they've been together for 4 years, lived together for 2. So I think that she's thinking this is going to progress into something. I don't think that she would even entertain this idea if she had any doubt that this relationship is going to fail.
Yeah, I mean, I think she likes the guy. I think she's annoyed with the baggage with the family. Because there's a lot of times you're in a relationship and it's like, okay, me and this person are good together, but there's a lot of baggage, you know?
It could be annoying is an understatement.
It could be
whenever you say you said the word mortgage and I got stressed.
Right.
Immediately. I just thought
everyone in New York hears the word mortgage and we're like, oh my God, all of our buttholes clench. Right. Everyone in Wisconsin orgasms.
Yeah, I can't have anal this week now.
In fact, that's the only way people in Wisconsin orgasm.
30-year mortgage.
That's their Hitachi.
Yeah. And free cheese. That will do it too.
Oh, love it.
Cheese in a
love
house.
A cheese.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. We got some new people in the chat.
Right. Let's get their take.
Yeah. We got shout out to Joanne in the chat, to Natalie in the chat, and to Abiola in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Yeah.
Wait, Shannon? Did you say Shannon in the chat?
Is Shannon also pronounced Abby in some
dialects? No, it's somebody else.
In Norwegian and Chinese?
No. Joanne, Natalie, and...
Finnish is...
Yeah, and
Could say anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Abby. It's Shannon.
Oh, yeah, and Abiola says, looking forward to being a guest. Appreciate it. Yeah, he's going to be on in a few weeks, man. Shout out to him.
Oh, thanks, Abiola.
Yeah.
I ate Abiola's cookies the other
Yes.
Tuesday. Yeah, those were delicious. Abiola brought these chocolate and marshmallow cookies to the show.
Yeah.
So good.
Don't do a mortgage unless you're
I got there later. I just drank tequila.
Also, are they married?
No.
Yeah, producer Amy says don't do it. Yeah.
Is this her way of trying to get the clause in?
Yes.
I can't get him to marry me.
Yes, producer Amy on YouTube. For those just listening on audio, producer Amy on YouTube says don't do a marriage or don't do a mortgage unless you're married. She says put a ring on it if they are experiencing responsibility or if they are expecting responsibility of a mortgage. Yeah, that's
Make
fair.
sure your name's on it.
Yeah, it's like that Beyonce song. If you wanted me to sign a mortgage with your entire family, you should put a ring on it. That's reasonable.
It's a classic verse.
Becky with the good hair. If you wanted me to have a mortgage.
Yeah.
Was Becky with the good hair gonna co-sign Jay-Z's
They're in
entire
the they're
family?
in the they're in the recording studio going, if you want to sign a mortgage with it, yeah, that's definitely what happened.
We didn't get a good track out of it. But we got a good jingle for an Allstate commercial, and it made us even more money than the album was gonna. Fuck yeah, yo.
You know what DJs sound like? What? Perfect.
Drop that
Yeah.
beat.
Same session as Lemonade. Am I wrong?
It's the same
I'm
one.
not
It
wrong.
was the same one. Hey
I've
man,
never heard you more certain than with anything.
you can't get lemonade without a few lemons. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. What? Any other comments to read?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, "Like button, folks, use it." That's right.
Oh,
Joel on
that's so
YouTube
kind.
is
Thank you, Joel.
is preaching the good word. Like and subscribe, everybody. It helps us out. Matt on YouTube says they got paintball stains in their house. Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, there's this is a fun-loving bunch.
One
all right.
comment is, "You
Wait,
people
but-
scare me."
Yes, we do. That is not. He is not lying. Joel on you, we scare the fuck out of that guy. Joel on YouTube says, "I agree with producer Amy. On YouTube, don't do a mortgage unless you're married. Also, make sure it's only your name on it. Yeah, that's a good.
Keep it on
you don't
your
want
name.
the family can boot you out if they're all on it, but
Yeah,
you
get
like
that,
this is
yeah.
crazy.
Don't make it a board.
Yeah. Matt says hold my 80. He says they have a mailbox. Joel on YouTube says he's not listening to me at Amy. They wanted me to turn your volume up, but it's up now. Let's see.
Mine? Oh.
No. Collins, but we're good. Let's see. I think it's. Put a ring on it is my favorite bar. That is Matt on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty rough situation, right? Because it seems like she likes the guy, hates the family. You know.
Yeah, she wants to be their landlord.
Well, that's every relationship.
How much sadder would it be if she loved the family but hated the guy? Right.
Yeah.
That would be worse.
Yeah. That was the Sex and the City episode a long time ago, and it was so disingenuous.
That was
Really?
the
like,
New Girl
it was
episode
so-
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where she
and just
loved
like,
the parents and hated the guy.
That never happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I started banging this guy because his mom is funny and bakes good cookies. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't happen. It's a weird reason to hook up with a guy.
Really
Yeah.
dumb. We're ready to move on to the next question.
Yeah, absolutely. We answered that one. You know your parents or your boyfriend's family are trash. What are you doing? Next question on the Twisted Cupid podcast. If you guys got questions, write them into twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, give them to us live right there in the chat every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For right now, we're going to take another one from the wild animals on Reddit.
Brother gave my daughter bad advice. My brother is 42. I am 44, and my daughter is 15. My daughter got into some trouble. Not got her, but probably drugs were involved, and consequences, lessons have been learned. After this, my brother, who has a good heart and always means well, but he's been in some trouble himself, and he tried to be there for his niece. He basically told her that he will always be there for her, even if she's in trouble, and she can call him and he won't tell her parents. He also said it's okay to break the rules sometimes, and if she's not sure which rules are okay to break, she can call him to ask, and he will tell her if it's okay or not.
That's so annoying.
I was alarmed by...
How dare my sister write this in without telling me that
I was alarmed by possibly being out of the loop here, especially when my brother is involved. Am I overreacting? Is it safer for my daughter to call my brother instead? Yeah, I mean, I guess to be clear, like, the person writing the question does identify as a female, so it's, a sister and a brother relationship. I don't know. Here's my thing. Okay, as an aunt that has several, nieces and nephews, and, obviously, like, I have loads of friends with kids, et cetera, don't tell me to be involved in the kid's life if you don't like how I'm gonna aunt, okay? Like, you parent how you're gonna parent. I'm gonna aunt how I'm gonna aunt.
You ant
okay?
it up.
Yeah. So
they're ansplaining to you.
Yeah.
That's
so if you don't like when I tell your kids, listen, if your dad's being a fucking tool, you can call me. Don't, as the parent, say, well, you're giving bad advice.
Right.
You're giving bad advice. It's like either I'm in or I'm out. Like either I get to be an aunt to your child or I don't. That's your
Suzanne.
decision, and I'm totally okay with whatever you decide.
But the specifics. Let me say it in the uncle voice that I'm imagining. Literally,
Okay,
what
then
he
do
said.
then
Imagine
do
it.
then
You
do
know,
a voice.
what's-
Then
what's
do
her-
a
what's her-
voice.
what's-
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
do
my
voice.
Then do
voice.
the uncle voice.
I have the
Oh, yeah.
uncle. I have the uncleist voice.
That's an uncle voice.
History.
That's
Okay,
uncle.
listen to me. It's like a wannabe news anchor. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Let's name the
Okay,
niece.
we're
What's the
listening.
niece's name? It's Corinne. You know,
Sharon.
okay. You know Sharon. It's okay to break the rules sometimes.
Listen to that. If he was right, he'd
And-
be Uncle Ben.
If you want to know which rules that are okay to break, you can always call me. Like it's creepy. It's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I was-
groomer
I get what you're
language.
But you
saying.
could also say that to Sharon. You could say, Sharon, which kind of Burger King Big Mac would you like? Like that's also creepy.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'll give you some
words
meat
It's
to
the
put in your
voice
mouth.
you're using.
It's not just the voice.
Yeah.
The voice helps.
The voice
is
helps, for
helpful.
sure.
Okay, but the text. Come on, the specifics. It's okay to break the rules. I'll tell you which rules you can break. This is straight out of a
Yeah,
porno.
that's weird.
Well, here's the thing. I think if the uncle was trying to do something that pervy with the niece, because I was thinking that same thing initially,
it's
but I don't think
not.
I don't think you're giving it in text
Stop.
form. You know what I mean? Because that's
No,
a paper
it's
trail.
this is no. Don't
I'm just saying. I think he's covering
don't
his
take
ground a
it
little
there.
more. Creepy
Don't
uncles.
take it there.
They say that way they're
Call me.
bouncing
No,
on the
this
knee.
is
You know what I
not.
mean?
Don't
They
take
whisper
it
that in
there.
your ear.
Don't. Just stop with the comic mentality. They're not taking. The person writing the question is not taking it. Her issue is that.
That is a good point. You're
the-
right.
It's
It's a
not
creepy
about
uncle.
comedy
just stop,
mentality.
Stop
No,
with
no,
the
no.
pervy
Podcast.
comic mentality for one goddamn second.
It's right there in the
What the person writing the question is saying
We were slightly
is
too
that
hilarious.
her daughter could get in trouble with drugs in the future, and the uncle is like, "Listen, I'll help
Right.
you out." And you don't have to tell your
Yeah.
parent. Okay,
And now
just
that I
take
think
it
about
at
it,
that,
to your
and
point-
then quit with this.
To your point, Suzanne.
fucking gross.
I agree
Shit.
with you because you're like my mind was kind of going there with the creepy uncle thing, but I'm like the lady writing the question, if there was any hint that was a possibility, believe me, that concern would have been front and
It
center.
would have
Yeah.
also
It would have
not
been-
even been on fucking Reddit.
Well,
Like,
right, yeah.
what are you talking
Dear Reddit, is my
about?
brother trying to fuck my daughter?
Yeah, just
Oh, that's
good.
on Reddit. That's a whole page on
As it
Reddit.
was leaving my mouth,
Am I
was like,
the asshole for?
We've had questions like that. In the past.
Am I the asshole for not being allowed around playgrounds anymore? Yeah, we covered it. It
They said 200 feet, but I
There's
live
a-
There's got to
125.
be someone defending
there's
them.
a
Like,
whole-
no, you're not the asshole.
There's a whole app for it. Okay, just stop.
As
Stop.
the CEO of NAMBLA, I'm behind
Okay,
you, sir.
Sorry, not to like get.
Yo, you guys
yeah.
make money?
Just okay again. So just stop with that whole
What are your
line
profit
of.
margins like?
Right. So,
Yeah, just-
so
It's actually cost
Very-
me every relationship I've ever had
what it
outside of NAMBLA, as
Just-
well as
So this-
$700,000.
Yeah, so stop with that whole line of questioning.
it.
Yeah.
But no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying because I don't think I was initially thinking that at the beginning of the question, but as I thought about it more, she's only concerned about the breach of trust. And the mother, if this was even a remote possibility with the uncle being a perv, it would have been in there. And I was
We got
more.
it. We established that.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just repeating it because you were repeating again about. So I'm, you reestablished it. So I'm telling you, I agree with you. So I think I'm sort of annoyed on the mother's behalf because, yeah, it would be a weird thing if my brother was like, "Hey, yeah, your dad's a dick. I'll tell you which rules to follow. That seems like a breach of trust to between the two siblings, like the older people.
It's like, hey, don't listen to your boss, listen to me,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, don't tell my fucking employee what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the
drugs
regional
to
manager.
do. I'll tell
Just
them what
listen to
drugs
me.
to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. So but on the flip side of it, I kind of see this. Like, I see both sides. I just think the uncle is stupid for putting it in text form. Even though it's not pervy, it's still a breach of trust
Yeah, it's
between the
strange
two of
to
you.
text
No
it,
matter what
yeah.
the fucking rule is, whether it's a good rule or bad rule, any parent who's giving their kid a rule, whether the rule is don't smoke fentanyl or don't go outside
gotta shoot
without
that.
wearing this. That's right. Otherwise, it's a waste. Don't go outside, without wearing this kind of hat or God gets mad. Like whatever their fucking rule is. Whatever the rule is.
The wrong hat.
Right. It's on page 7 of the Labba Dabba Dabba. And
Too many points, not enough points.
Right, yeah. It's like, didn't you read it's page 7. Study it. Know it. Tattoo it on your chest backwards like the guy in Memento so you can read it in the mirror every morning.
Oh my god! Oh, fucking great film.
That's
forgot
a- I
about
I just
that one.
watched
That's
that
a
recently.
great-
It was
Isn't it
so
so fucking
confusing
good?
to me.
Dude,
I could not
really?
get my
You
brain
might have to
around
watch.
it.
You
Yeah.
go
It's a
rewatch it,
great
dude.
I gotta
It's a
watch
fucking
it
great
again.
one.
Yeah.
It's worth a rewatch.
But
It's
you
one
do have to pay attention, like
you
the
can't be
whole
on your
time.
phone for that one, dude. Like you can't.
I gotta
so many
drink
movies
coffee
now.
and
Deal
watch that
breaker.
at
Yeah.
6
Can't be on
a.m.
my
or
phone.
something.
Dude, that's got to
It's
be like a
really
dead.
good.
It's not a drunk one. It's not like you're watching while you're
I gotta do
doing shit for
coke
work.
and watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
Like, with this uncle.
not even coke, bro.
Me and
Adderall.
this uncle
don't
got
know
to
if you
chill.
do.
He's like, I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know
what
if you need to
drugs
do
to do.
coke.
Yeah.
Maybe just watch it.
No, I'm signing off on the coke thing. Let's do coke and watch Memento. I need to
Thanks,
rewatch
Dad.
it. I need some. Yes. See, I'm like the cool uncle. Suzanne's the mom from the question. Going,
Yeah.
don't smoke crack and watch Memento. I'm like, bro, come on. What are we gonna not smoke crack while we watch Memento? What are we doing?
Last time I
What
did
are we, a
coke-
couple of fucking Mormons?
I was falling asleep. I needed to smoke crack before I watched that.
Dude, yeah,
Before I
you
watched
really do.
Memento,
You
yeah.
gotta be because
That's when you need to cancel your Netflix subscription and like just question your life. It's like if you just smoke crack to watch Netflix, don't spend that. Don't spend.
Yeah,
the
not to do anything
Don't
fun.
spend the
Yes.
extra $10 on Netflix because you could just play solitaire with like a deck of cards. Like
Boom.
Cracked
what
out
are
and
you
play
doing?
solitaire.
I need the fourth ace, son of a bitch.
What if you smoke crack and then make a spreadsheet of all the best movies to watch on crack?
Wait, but wait. So just
It's like a snake smoking
does
its own
smoking
crack.
Yeah.
But when you smoke crack though, like is that because I know like Coke.
No, I'll tell you. I don't smoke it.
No, it's like Coke makes you
I
like.
like
I know that Coke like makes people awake. Obviously, heroin
Sure.
puts you to sleep.
Well, crack's awake, yeah.
But what does like if you smoke crack? Like what does that do?
Well, honestly,
awake,
it's
right?
yeah.
It's
it
awake,
is
right?
cocaine.
It's
It is
not
cocaine.
asleep, I'll tell
yeah,
you that.
Yeah, crack is cocaine. It's just it's
Yeah, it
racked
doesn't
up.
knock you out.
It's locked up so you can smoke it easier. Yeah. But it hits you.
What?
It
so
hits
what's
you a lot
Colin,
harder than
what's
doing
your,
a line.
when you think
it
about
hits you a lot
smoking
harder.
crack?
It's so much
what's
more
your
fun.
relationship
It
to
doesn't
the
last as long.
song? Them Bluna's gonna knock you out. Them Bluna's gonna knock you out. No, nothing.
What's my
or-
relationship to it when I think about smoking crack?
Yeah.
I never put those two things together.
Well,
Smoking crack and that
there
song.
you go. And that's why I'm an ant. What? Okay. Boom.
All right. You want to be the
Super
cool
cool
ant? You
ant,
want to be the
super
cool
cool
ant? I'll
ant.
tell you how you do it. You get
Yeah.
your nephew some crack and the album Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones. Boom. I'm talking early 70s Rolling Stones. That's what you're smoking crack
Then
to.
you're cool.
Oh.
Possibly some
Yeah.
disco.
Okay. What I'm just saying to this person writing this question is that I think that I understand like the concern. Obviously, her concern is that her daughter is going to do something fucked up and that she perceives as fucked up, and the uncle is
Yes.
going to like, help to,
You're gonna say it's not that
either
bad.
facilitate or like bail her out of jail,
Right.
whatever. And it's like I get the concern, especially because she's only 15. But at the same time, then that's a conversation that you just need to have with your brother and saying, "Hey, don't say those things." But it's also like, if you want this person to be in your life, they're already 44. If you check this behavior, he's probably just going to bounce out. And then, she's
Yes.
not going to have an uncle. Like, I mean, because he sounds like the kind of uncle that would just bounce out. And
Yeah, he goes months on end where no one knows where he's at.
Yeah.
He's a fucking rolling
He's
stone.
in Vegas tonight.
He's
Yeah.
the guy that's
Yeah.
always got an investment opportunity. if
He's
you've
got a mortgage
Yeah.
for
$5,000.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like Ponzi scheme uncle.
Yeah, but no one
So-
ever talks about how their uncle deserted the family. You know?
Right.
It's not. That's
I
Right.
have, shut up. I have like 7 uncles who've deserted our family. Like, what
The
are you
daughter-
talking
Seven
about?
is worth talking about.
The
That's-
daughter,
sounds
the
like a you
daughter calls
problem,
up
really.
the uncle like, "Hey, I just burned down a house and my boyfriend wants to get a mortgage. And what do I do?
I'm glad
And
you
the uncle's
asked.
like, how many cats do they have?
Listen,
It's
you,
important. It's math.
It's the detail that hinges on everything.
That is mortgage math. How many cats are there?
Yeah.
your lame-o mom's going to call it insurance fraud. Okay,
just-
because she's
I-
always been a stickler for the rules
Yeah.
ever since we were kids.
I honestly just feel like this is a thing of her like writing into Reddit, of like just digging into her brother and getting the whole internet on her side that her brother's either a loser, like legit loser, almost homeless, or a super wealthy finance bro. And it's one or the other. He's either super successful and she's super jealous, or he's this super degenerate that she's had to deal with her whole life.
Really?
And
Because
it's
I'm
like-
picturing more in the middle with this guy. You
No?
know?
Yeah, I'm not
I really
picturing
am.
a rich
Yeah.
dad, poor dad scenario.
No,
Oh,
I'm
so
picturing
wait,
a guy who
hold
just
on,
kind of
let me
has
just
a good
read
time.
the question for you again, Dan. Imagine
thing?
cokehead, super rich finance bro. Drugs were involved, and she probably learned some consequences. My brother told her. My brother told her if she gets in trouble again, she doesn't always have to tell her parents.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, no. I thought you were saying like the brother was like this. That
Oh
he
yeah,
was
if he's like
a,
a cokehead.
if he was
It's
like,
like a cokehead
super-
finance bro.
Yeah.
Oh, right, but even then, I think
Like
that would
he knows
kind
how to
of-
get out of it.
Yeah, but it's also we didn't get. There's a glaring lack of detail from her side. Like we didn't get what kind of drugs. We didn't really get.
And to be
what
fair,
she's
I
upset
read this
about.
whole question. Normally I truncate, but
Yeah,
I read
yeah.
this whole question.
It was, but I'm saying she would have more details about the drugs and what the
Yeah.
consequences were if she wasn't being a little fucking lame. So I think the lady writing the question is kind of prudish. You know what I mean? I think the brother's a little more on the wild side, which I don't even
Yeah.
think is that wild for her. Because again, I point this out at least once a podcast. When in doubt, because of a lack of detail, I always err against the person writing the question because it's a complete biased source by for and about them. So when they just gloss over details, I have to
Yeah.
think it's because they think that the general readers would not be
Right.
on their side.
Right,
You know?
yeah,
and so
yeah.
we didn't really get what happened with the drugs, what were the consequences, what
Right,
type of drugs.
yeah. It
She
was
just
kinda
breezed
vague
right over
in
that.
the- yeah.
It's like pot. It maybe ketamine. Like maybe you know what I mean? Maybe some Molly.
Could
like
be a
it's on the
K-hole.
low. Yeah, it could be a little bit of, ketamine's not like it used to be. I mean, a lot of people mix it with stuff and it's
Or
not
like
that,
6 boxes of Zyrtec D. That's also not legal.
Right.
Yeah.
It's she could just be snorting Xanny bars. Come on, man. Little Xanax, little Xanax bumps. Come on.
No,
Good
no,
time.
no,
No, on the part of
Zyrtec, the
ketamine.
allergy medicine.
I never changed. It's the people around me that did.
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing the whole time.
I didn't know, like, you snort ketamine, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I went over to a guy's
yeah.
house once. I'm gay, everyone. I went over and
Nice, bro.
it's in my voice. I sound like a
Because
gay
everyone
Ray
was going to be
Romano.
shocked that you went over to a man's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a man's. I was exploring myself at 29. And not dead. Not
I'm
dead
almost
yet.
30. I got to figure out what I'm into.
I'm not dead yet at 30. That's when you got to figure it all out. But
We need to, yeah, go
He
ahead.
had something in his nose, and then I was like, "That's either coke or ketamine."
Fuck yeah, dude.
And after I said that to him,
Was it Tina?
He said it was ketamine.
There you go.
I was like, "Could you get it out?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, sorry." And he goes to the bathroom. He comes back. It's still in his nose.
Dude, this guy rocks.
He offers me a Michelob Ultra hard seltzer,
Fuck yeah, dude.
and I go, "I'm gonna go."
Wait, but why?
And he
What do you
goes,
mean, like, he couldn't, like...
he goes, "That's fair."
Guy rocks.
Yeah.
No, dude, this guy rocks. He got it out. He got it out.
He was
This is
so so
this is how
honest.
high this guy. This is how high this guy. No, here's what happened. Here's what happened because I've been in this situation.
You admit this was the guy.
Yes,
This was-
I feel like that this dude was gay me. He's gay me. He's been called out for having shit in his nose. Like, yeah, you're right. I should go clear this out. You know what I mean? And then you clear it out. It's like, you know what? Such clear nasal passages. I mean, I got to make good use of them.
I don't wanna waste
And then he did another pump, and he came out
He
with a
just went in
fresh
the
bump in his
bathroom and he
nose.
thought of
okay.
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah. He
That,
was like,
okay,
just
that's
oh,
what,
it's gone. Maybe
that's
I
what
should.
you're
This
saying.
guy rocks,
Here.
dude.
It's
Yeah.
like it's
Now
like
that
you
it's-
go.
I'm at my toilet.
Yeah. Okay,
Not gonna
that
waste a trip to the bathroom.
yeah,
It was on
that
the
makes
toilet
much more
already.
sense. I was like, I don't. In my head, I was like, I don't understand how you go to the bathroom and look at yourself in the face, like use a tissue, whatever, so that you clear out your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you take another bump.
In fact, I'll even say if he
That makes sense.
misread your disposition on it, gay me might have heard you say that and be like, oh, thanks, I almost missed that, and ate the ketamine boogers right in front of you. You know what I mean? To not let it go to waste.
Okay,
No.
no snot talk. Full
Oh,
stop.
come on. Not even
No.
Coke boogers?
Smart move.
No.
August.
Coke boogers are the
That was
greatest.
No,
a
Jake,
smart
no
move.
snot talk.
It's
I will
gross.
throw up.
Coke
We
boogers
got
ain't
boundaries.
snot. Coke
Yeah.
boogers is,
This, like literally. It's
if
why I
anything,
don't
they're
have
super
children.
dry. You know what I mean? Like it's
No booger.
Coke boogers are
It's
magical.
like boofing.
So, yeah.
It skips your
Regardless,
liver that way.
So
August,
this is.
that was a smart move you did.
It's Coke
That's
boogers are like
fine.
sprinkles on the cupcake.
Dude,
I fucking love
just
them.
really like that you have so much self-esteem that you're like, not this.
Not what?
So much. It should
Oh, talking about boogers.
You're like, not ketamine nose guy.
No, in all seriousness, I know.
Oh yeah, no. I was like, I can't do. What am I gonna do? Like, just like kiss around it and then
Yeah.
like avoid it falling into my mouth.
In
And
all
then-
seriousness, dude, like as your
whole
friend,
other- he was so sad.
I'm proud of you for not banging gay me, dude.
He was-
gay me is a loser.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
No, the guy. He was nothing like you, Jake. He was. It was a beautiful, amazing. Like it was in Bed-Stuy, and he lived in this rich apartment, and he just felt so sad. The
Really?
guy. Yes.
Oh,
Wow,
I
dude.
looked at him. He was a shell of a person.
He was on ketamine and
He was.
sad.
He was. Yes.
Oh, that's too bad.
He wasted it all.
Yeah, dude, gay me sounds like a loser.
Yes, you are fun.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
amazing.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were a great warm person. This guy was selfish.
If anything, I thought gay me would party more. You know what I mean?
No,
Like I
yeah.
thought he would be a better hang.
No.
You know, like dude, that's too bad. I feel
I mean,
bad
you did
for him.
offer me a Michelob Ultra Seltzer.
That's you see, that's
Yeah.
what, that sounds like something I
Well,
would do.
that's
I love me some hard
just
stuff.
what you.
I'm drinking Trulies right now.
That's just what you enjoy on the train home because that was a waste of your time.
Yeah, I'll take that
Yeah.
and go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Do you have a paper bag?
Cops don't even write a ticket for that.
Yeah.
They're like,
No.
thank you for hydrating. Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
like there's cops need to get like instead of just like issuing it like I mean again luckily knock wood I've never been given a drinking ticket but it should be like like the toast
Try harder.
it should be like when you go to a restaurant they have like the toast like not kiosk what's the word for the thingy they bring you
Yeah, what?
like like the
Yeah.
thing that you tap your card against
Wait,
like
Oh, the square?
The
like
key
the
fob?
portable portable like card thingy.
The POS.
Yeah,
You mean the card reader?
The payment
Card
device.
card reader.
Oh, the POS.
They should just have that as cops on the subway, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna give you a ticket, but you can input your response as to why you're drinking on the train, and you would put, well, officer, and then they could give you either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, just like on
Rating
the.
you on your
I
drinking.
like your thought.
yeah.
I think it's too modern. I think they should have bars and urinals on the train. Just the middle
Yeah.
car is
That's
just the fun car.
That's what I like about Newark now. Newark is now just
They do that?
an entire bar.
Dude, that rocks.
Anywhere,
city.
yeah. Sorry, the airport.
That's awesome.
The
Not
whole
the
city,
city.
is a
Get in
bar.
your cab.
You just pee and drink
Yeah.
as soon as you get in.
No, but to be
It's the whole city's one big bar and all.
Yeah.
the,
Bar and all.
but I
Oh,
will say
God.
that Newark, the airport, is now just one big
Jesus.
bar. It doesn't matter where
shit.
you sat.
A bar and all.
There's
Yes.
there's a tablet everywhere, and you can just put in your drink order, and they bring it. God knows where the kitchen is, but it's for drinks. Who cares?
Matt on YouTube says the lazy Suzanne. Yeah.
Gay would still have
that's
liked
what the
the
bar should be called.
disgusting
Yeah.
Active
Oh, that's
sex.
cute.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Yes. Joel on YouTube says Zyrtec was Xanax was my getaway. I've moved on to Zyzol.
Okay.
I don't know what Zyzol is.
No,
man.
I don't
That's a kind of
either.
drug,
Yeah,
right?
I've never done it.
I can
Amy on
like see
YouTube
it
says-
spelled in my head, but I don't know what it's for.
Yeah. Amy on YouTube says that's such bad advice the brother gave. Yeah, I mean, but then again, like it depends on what the actual situation was. I just think he was dumb for texting it. That should have been a phone call. The brother's dumb. He's a moron. That's not something bad inherently to tell your niece or nephew. If anything, it's cool because it's like Suzanne was saying, you are involved in their life. You should just be something other than I'm just going to parrot whatever your parent said, you know? There should be another role if you're going to be an active aunt or uncle. However, there's no way that the parent of that kid is going to read that text other than I'm just going to undermine you. So you can't put something like that in writing. This person has every right to be upset at this person, no matter how dumb their rule was, no matter how unreasonable they're being. If you see, don't listen to what the hell your parents said. No matter how crazy it is, you're going to be pissed off as a parent. Yeah. So I'm on their side in them being pissed off. I'm against them for being a Mormon wussy prude.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Good. Okay. Well,
This podcast is anti-Mormon wussy prude.
All right.
Yes.
We're
well,
coming
we
out
answered
now.
that question.
Yes.
Let's do one more question.
All right. Last question on the Twisted Cupid. Joanna YouTube says, the mom could have just texted the uncle from the kid's phone to see how far he'd take it. Yes, that is perfect. Finally, that is what she needs to do.
Hey,
Just
Uncle
sit there
Steve,
and-
I just
yeah.
married a guy in Vegas. I want you to be a witness. Can you come to my marriage? Fuck yeah. I'll come.
Uncle Steve, this guy wants me to do a bump off his dong. It's the only way I can do it. What's your take on that?
Bump of what?
Okay, I needed this guy when
We're going
I
up or going down?
when I went to Gay Jake's hookup. A guy has ketamine falling out of his nose. Do I
Right.
fuck him?
Right. See if yes, that is great advice. Test your brother and see if he would give your daughter the advice to bang straight Jake. That if he
Straight
does
Jake.
do that, then that's terrible advice. Like, some fat balding alcoholic from a podcast wants me to go back to his place because his wife and kid are out of town, and he wants me to. He said
Wow,
he's
he
gonna,
gave you all that information and you're not at his house yet?
this guy sounds fun. Like and subscribe his podcast. Like, yeah, if he tells you to bang straight Jake, then don't do it. Then rat on your brother. Disown him, I say. Anyway, let's take our next question on the Twisted Cupid podcast. Oh, this is our last question. If you've got questions, write them into twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, give us your questions and comments live right there in the chat. For now, we're going to take our last one from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
Last question. Wife cheated the same way I did. I'm 38. My wife is 36. A decade ago, not long into our marriage, we hit a rough patch. My wife was stressed with work, and our sex life was not exciting. I started to get cold feet, and even though I'd made a mistake in committing, and even thought I'd made a mistake in committing to her, I ended up seeking comfort in an online acquaintance. I'd been talking to this person who started on a friendly basis, and then things turned sexual. We were then sexting every day using Skype while my wife was working shifts.
Old
Yes.
school. I like it.
Yeah, what is this,
Skype, but just for
1995?
Baby, Skype is empty. No one's on here but us.
This came to a head one day when my wife noticed that Skype had been downloaded
It
on
came
the
to
laptop.
Red flag. If they have Skype on their laptop,
Some
that's a
cheating,
deal breaker, ladies.
some cheating time traveler has been
Part about this question
beating
that
off
got
at
me so
Skype.
mad. It's like, what the fuck is Skype on the laptop for? Okay.
I mean, will Skype even work on a smartphone anywhere? It would probably have to be a computer these days, right?
What was this, the flu pandemic
My
teaching?
God.
What's Skype doing on this computer that comes with its own camera?
I've been cheating on my wife with this thing since the H1N1 scare.
Okay. My wife noticed that Skype had been downloaded on the laptop and got curious and found the chat logs. She confronted me in the heat of the moment, and I took the laptop off of her and deleted all of the comments because I didn't want her to be hurt by seeing all of the details that I had said to this other woman.
You're a good man.
Fast forward to 10 years later. Life has been tough the last few years. Usual suspects, demands of kids, working, carrying responsibilities. My wife expressed that she was missing intimacy and wanted us to put more effort into our sex life. I happily told her that I was going to oblige, but it obviously never got off the ground. Well, despite all good intentions, my wife started paying a lot more attention to her phone, and something seemed off when I asked her about it. Long story short, I snooped on her phone, and she was out when she was out of the room, and found that she was sexting and exchanging pics with an internet rando. I was absolutely winded, and I then confronted her with it. She immediately took the phone and deleted all of the evidence, just like I had done a decade ago.
It was on Google Hangouts.
She did admit to sexting and said that it had been very recent and solely online, and that it had only risen from her sexual frustration. Again, basically the same crime a decade later. What do I do?
It's my sexual frustration. What the hell? Oh my God! Just the brutal honesty of that. The brutal honesty of that.
It's not me. It's my boiling resentment for you.
Yeah. But it's in such an honest way to put it that it's not because if it was just to truly be hurtful. I'm doing this because I wanted to get fucked right, or I'm doing this because your dick is awful, or I hate you. This is just like, no, you understand, honey? It's my boiling sexual frustration.
Saying it like it's his mom or something.
Oh, yeah. Just like it was like a therapy term. Like, psychologically speaking, I needed that dick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like
okay, again, just to... Okay, so
It's a medical need for some dick.
Boiling.
To be...
Pop it real quick.
So, to be clear, though, it's the parallelism is that he had sexted with a rando on Skype 10 years before. She was sexting with a rando. He doesn't specify the platform, but she was sexting with a rando and, again, saying it's because, their sex life wasn't great. It's like, it is the same thing. And
rough, man.
It's, she obviously forgave him. Is it something that it's, okay, tit for tat, we have a chalkboard. You had a tick back in 2014 for Skype. Actually, 2 ticks.
That's wild.
One for Skype, one for the sexting.
Yeah.
And now she's doing something else.
But that's the same person, though, right? I think it should only count as one tick.
What do you mean it's the same? Of course, it's
I think
the
only
fucking
one tick.
same person.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are you fucking
but
talking about?
that's because as this guy's lawyer, I think only one tick is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's same person. It's part of the same overall sexting.
He was cheating. He was sexting on Skype. She is now sexting on a separate
Right,
platform.
so tick for tick. Oh, I thought you said he's got 2 ticks. It's 1 tick each. Yeah, I mean, I would see, but here's where it gets tough. Is if she forgave it, then waited a decade. Unfortunately, I think she should have cheated on him earlier because the statute of limitation is up on that tick. That's the way I feel. Yeah. So she had to hide it better because now this guy's got a little bit of a reason to be like, hey, that was back in 2014. I mean, Christ, this was Obama's first term, huh? That doesn't count. Like, this is crazy. So I think he's definitely got a right to be pissed. Even though he kind of did the same thing, but I mean, this was 10 years ago. So, but since he did do it, he can't be too pissed. So he's got to grade it on a curve, is what I'm saying. There's like a level. Well,
he's got to remember how he felt when he was doing it.
Yes.
Why
how good
he
it
was.
Felt. What a thrill! He should be happy for her. She gets to do the thing that he liked doing.
Yeah.
Well, was it initially when he was doing it? Was it because he was sexually frustrated?
Yes.
Originally,
Yes.
yeah,
No, it's because he was
now
sexually satisfied.
He was
man.
he was saying that
He was having such a great time.
he was
I love
But he
pussy
wanted
so
to
much, I just need some
spread
more.
the love.
Yeah. She just made me itchier for it.
But he's and
the
now she's doing
boner
it for the same
boner
reasons.
he got when he heard the dun dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
Forever.
Oh, the Skype sound.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh, there it goes again.
Whenever it crops up in a movie, I gotta sit down or stand up. One of them.
Abiola says on YouTube says this guy seems full of shit. I deleted the messages because I didn't want to be hurtful to her. That sounds so gaslighty. He just wanted to preserve his image as much as possible, obviously. Yeah, that was totally something that a defense lawyer would say on this guy's behalf in divorce court. Yeah, that's not...
What does that say? Rando's is a great steakhouse?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Where's this?
Now that...
Oh, I thought he was
Welcome to
saying it sounded
Rando's.
like-
We pick your cut.
Is that a real steakhouse?
Porterhouse too bad.
Yes.
Charge a little. They're a little pricey, but it's fun.
What kind of steak sauce we got with that? I guess you're going to have
Who
to wait and
knows?
see.
Prime rib, fuck off.
It's a Texas steakhouse, but they all got
take the
Brooklyn
rib.
accents.
You gotta spin the wheel.
Round and round it goes.
Yeah, I know.
Randos.
I know it's Texas. I'm Rando. I got kicked out of. I'm in witness protection program.
Rando's like an Italian name made up by a Texan. Tony
Yeah,
Rando.
Like in the old country, Randos.
I'm from a little town of Rando.
Durandos.
Hey, this is Rando. My brothers Mario and Luigi. They got famous back in the
Mario
80s.
Oh,
I've just been selling steaks.
It's all hamburger meat.
The only thing that comes up on Google is Randy Steakhouse. So Colin,
So close.
maybe that's
Randy.
your
Okay.
maybe that's
Randy.
your.
I go to
your,
Rando's
gig.
because they say it's a random cut. I keep hoping for a fillet or a ribeye. I keep getting Salisbury every time.
Every time.
I don't know.
Every time it's a hamburger or a bun. This steakhouse sucks.
Like, you just got bad luck. I don't know.
listen, statistically, it's Jewish.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going Jewish.
I like it as a statement. You know what? Fucking, I'm going Jewish. We're going. Let's all go together.
The Jewish Steakhouse Randos. It's on 52nd and Broadway.
The default New York accents that everyone goes to.
Italian and Jewish.
What are we doing? Jewish? Which one?
Are we doing Jewish?
Jewish or Italian?
Oh my God.
No, it's the Italian guy who cooks the steak. It's a Jewish guy who told him not to tell him what cut they were getting. You know what I mean? They teamed up.
They bring it
teamed
together.
up.
That's right.
It was,
Dynamic duo.
Welcome to Duos. You don't know what we are.
Oh, that was a great
I
bit.
think that all amazing business ideas aside, if your partner is seeking a close, intimate relationship
Totally
outside
forgot
of
what this was about.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
no.
when we had the most fun.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. No, you're right. I texting each other
Sorry,
nudes and
just to tie a loose
Yes,
end
thank
up.
Job to do.
I
Dan.
know.
Just
They're
to tie-
waiting for this.
the wife is really cheating because he keeps taking her to the worst steakhouse in all of Texas. It's run by an Italian and a Jewish guy from New York.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
But so it's like if your wife is seeking intimate conversations, whatever, with whomever outside of your relationship, sounds like a bad idea. I mean, that sounds like your relationship is defos on the rocks. So
Yeah, it's pretty
either
rough.
There's not
take
communicating
her
going
to
on.
either take her to Randy's Steakhouse
Yeah.
or Rando's Steakhouse, which sounds like a sex club in Brooklyn
does.
that Colin DiGarbo runs.
Call it Rando's Meat Market, and it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. And,
Second floor walk up. You don't want to be too obvious.
You want to give your legs a pump, you know.
yeah,
and-
get your butt looking good
Yeah.
before
right.
it gets pumped.
and never.
Well, you.
Now it's Dominican, I
It's
guess.
It's gonna be called.
What looking
That's
good.
that's the third accent. That's the third one. To get your butt pumped.
The pump, yeah. Butt pump. Well, your butt get pumped.
Where that bucket pumped? No, never go to rando strip club. It's just a glory hole with no lights. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's
Yeah, you want a light.
That's
You
the
gotta
way
have
you
a
want
light.
it. Yeah.
What is this? What's this glory hole with no light?
There's just one light shining
Why
on
is
it.
that not?
You know what it is.
You'll
Brightness.
get your butt.
Threatening even.
Yeah.
Do I feel ketamine falling out of this guy's nose? Jesus Christ. Never coming to rando strip club again.
Why is my dick numb?
I guess there was some coke in there too. Little left nostril,
I
right
guess he's
nostril.
having a great time.
I feel like he should be paying me at this point.
Does it? Does
The only
it
thing
make-
keeping this guy
it
from
makes
grinding
your
his
dick
teeth.
numb?
Maybe. I haven't. You're looking at me like I've never done coke
Please don't bite. Please
in
don't
my
bite.
life.
No.
I'm not a fun gay like Jake. I'm not a fun swinging gay guy
That's right.
who just invites me over after a whole night of partying at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. I did this. This was the peak of my late 20s. This is the
11
peak
a.m.
of my late 20s.
That's awesome.
It was.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my god.
That's
This
awesome.
is the dregs of my 20s. This morning. This morning that I did it.
Dude, gay me
Not this
had
night.
ketamine in his nose at 11 a.m. That's awesome. And then he went to go clean it out, and he just came back with more ketamine in his nose.
I think
It
that's
wasn't
right.
even new.
I think that's
Dude,
great.
Dude,
Yeah.
gay me rocks.
Yeah.
Gay me
Awesome.
rocks.
Gay you is less you with more
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
We answered that question.
living the dream.
We answered that question. We finished this podcast off
Yes.
with the bowest of bows.
That's right. That's right. We did. We did. This has been a great podcast. Thank you to everybody who listened. Thank you to everybody, especially the listeners in the chat, man. Thank you to Abiola. Thank you to Amy, to Joel, to Matt, to Joanne, to Nicole. And if I missed anybody, thank you to everybody out there listening. Like and subscribe. Definitely like and subscribe on YouTube. You can listen live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you most of all to our two awesome guests. Thank you to Colin DiGarbo.
Yeah.
Thank you to Dan Frank. Follow them.
Thank you for having me.
Until next week,
Beautiful.
like and subscribe. Good having you back in the co-host seat, Suzanne.